everyone, and welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm Carol Kahn, and we're coming to you live from the Sedona Rouge Hotel. I am sitting here with one of the cinematographers of the film, Ashish. And tell me a little bit about the title of your film and the film.
The name of the film is Under the Same Sun. It's based with the message of religious harmony. Not even religious harmony, I'll just say harmony for that matter, be between humans. And it was directed by Mitra Sen. She's a Canadian. It was produced by the Canadian Arts Council. So she had flown down to Mumbai should I talk about the film?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. She had flown down to Mumbai in 2009. And the day she landed, there was a terrorist attack on the Taj Hotel in Mumbai, and the hotel was up in flames, and she had no idea whether she can pursue or continue shooting the film because it's a sensitive subject but after a month of casting, they did go and start filming in Jaisalmer. It's a little town in Rajasthan. It's a desert state, so they started filming. On day 2, she fell and broke her ankle, and but she didn't want to give up because she's been doing films on the message of peace for a while now. Her previous film was Peace Tree, which also did well in the festivals prior to this, but she didn't want to give up on the message, and so she decided to continue filming, somehow managing on a rickshaw, on a wheelchair, but it didn't work. It just didn't work because she's like over 50, and it takes a toll on your body.
She's old 50.
Yeah, she's over 50. So they decided to shut the production for a while. She went back to Canada, recovered from her injuries, and came back in 2011 to continue filming. But they couldn't get the same actors, so they had to restart the production from zero. And we shot, that's when I got involved to shoot the film. We shot over a month in Jaisalmer. Indie films go through a lot, so it was a mighty challenge to finish this film. And a few days we also shot in Mumbai. But yeah.
No, I did not get to see the film. I did watch the trailers, and it's beautifully shot. Some of the colors, it's a very sad film. It is about peace, but at the same time, the colors that you've injected into the scenes are stunning. So, as a cinematographer, how important is it for you to capture the message of what the film is all about?
The film is based in this town, Jaisalmer. In the title credits, you do see a couple of sentences that say that this town has been living peacefully for many, many years. People from both religions celebrate each other's religions each other's religious holidays in a very harmonious manner. And that was the motive to set up that town in that way, because everything is very colorful. When there's harmony, there's always so much color, both inside and outside. So that was the premise of the film. And then we have this young guy who gets in the town with a different motive of disruption. But what I really liked about the story was it's not about showing somebody in a very isolated manner. We go into his backstory, like how did he come out to a situation where he's actually thinking of bombing the place. So we go into his backstory, which is quite just Asghar Faridi, after Salesman, I was at his Golden Globe nomination seminar. He was saying that crime, the law looks at only the crime. It doesn't look at the backstory, like how it came about to be. So this film explores that facet of the process of committing the crime and why it's happening so, in a very delicate manner, also showing his backstory, not to justify it, but how he came to be in that position. But the beautiful part is he does have a change in heart, and how he has a change in heart is he meets these 3 little kids, in the town who protect him without knowing who he is as a stranger. So that really affects him, that he's come to destroy this place, but people are actually protecting him from the cops and all those things without knowing who he is. So it's a very beautiful twist in his character.
Yeah. So as a cinematographer, how do you, there's a storyline and there's a script, so that's one way of telling the story, but visually you have to tell the story in another way. So is it something that you try to tell your own story through the cinematography?
As a cinematographer, I think my first duty to the film is to understand what the director is really after. She's not after pretty sunrises or sunsets, though we have that in the film, but she's really after the message of peace and harmony. So once I understand that as a larger context, then I try to filter images that support that particular theme in the film, and that's what we have tried to do. That with harmony comes beauty and love. So in that spirit, we've as a cinematographer, I try to create images that support that theme.
And how difficult is it, because you shoot the film and then you have to hand off all the film to an editor? So now you kind of lose control over almost what was shot.
Yeah.
So how does that all transition for you?
If the director, who's the captain of the ship, if she or he really knows what exactly they're doing, then even the edit process falls under the captain. So the editor is free to make creative choices, but if the story is taking off course, the director always brings it back to course, even in the edit process. So that's the beauty. If you're under a good captain, it's all good. Yeah.
And what was your favorite part in shooting this particular film?
Waking up at 2 o'clock to go and shoot the sunrise sequence in the desert, and then running with a Steadicam barefoot, because with shoes you get slower, and it's easy to run barefoot on the sand dunes. So just wearing the Steadicam and running behind the actors in the desert. That was pretty interesting to do those things. But I think the favorite, and also we were shooting it at 44 degrees centigrade, so I don't know, it converts to 100 Fahrenheit or something like that.
I'm not good with that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was quite hard, and but it was a great challenge, because shooting with kids is always a challenge, but they throw such beautiful surprises at you. That is quite interesting.
Is there any moment when you're shooting that you feel like you've missed an opportunity? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, it happens all the time, but we have cover-up techniques which we do. So the closing shot of the film was designed in a particular manner. It was supposed to be a crane shot that starts with the feet of the children, and then it booms up as the children go into the sand dunes, they disappear into the sand dunes. That shot, we actually messed it up, because we set up in the afternoon for the evening shot, because it takes time to move a crane onto a sand dune. It's just carrying such heavy pieces of metal. And the director's jeep got stranded at another point, so she had to walk a couple of kilometers on the sand dunes with her actors. So we had no rehearsal whatsoever, because by the time she arrived with the actors, who also walked with her, those little kids, and I remember I was perched on top of the crane with a flag saying that we are here. But anyway, by the time she came, we had just enough sun for one shot and no more. And without rehearsals with kids, it was it was going to be a wild bet, and we got half the shot right, and other half was it messed up. So we did another patchwork to fix that, but Yeah, things like that keep happening.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand, when they watch a film, they're watching a film, they don't understand really what goes into it. And cinematography is really important because it captures all the senses. It's sight, people are sound, you see it all, like you see everything. So that's probably one of the most important roles in a film.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel stress when that happens?
It's hard to wake up and like the magic of filmmaking is like no matter how much you plan, you're never going to shoot exactly what you've planned for. There's some magic going to happen on set, and the nervous part is like I'm really literally biting my nails thinking that how am I going to light that scene? I know the mood, I know the emotion of the scene, but it's a challenge to light it like in the right mood and get the shots in the right manner so that you convey that emotion of that particular scene. Every scene is supposed to do something very specific in the film. You just hope that you shoot it and light it the way it conveys that particular emotion. That's the nervous part, but that's also the challenge. That's the fun part. Like when you get it right, you feel good.
Well, I think your role is really important. I mean, it is very important, and you create the magic. I mean, you're the one who really has to create the feeling and mood of that particular film.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to open it up to the media. Does anybody have any questions for Ashish?
I'm interested in the theme of the movie. Can you expand a little bit upon the idea behind the theme of the picture?
Yeah. As I had just mentioned that though in specifics it is religious harmony, I'll even take the word religious out of the way. The film is actually just about harmony between humans, like in the spirit of humans, how harmonious. Because if you really look at our history of humanity, like every prophet, every messiah, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's Buddha or prophet, everybody has come with just one message, very simple, basic message of love. And what we humans have done is like somehow distorted it and created this religion around it, because they would have had certain rules and regulations in that era that are specific to that era, but but the basis of all that was just love, nothing else. And I think the film just urges that if we peel out those outer layers of caste, of religion, of race, and if you're just humans, then all that matters is love and nothing else. So I think that's the broad theme of the film, which the director wanted to convey very strongly.
Anyone else? Yes.
I just wondered, as a cinematographer, how do you prepare to shoot the film? Like, what conversations do you have with the director ahead of time to sort of match your vision with his or hers?
Mm-hmm. We first try to distill everything in one sentence, like what exactly the film is about. And once we know that, then my job is to convert that theme in visual language. And then in visual language, what comes into picture is color, contrast, saturation, and so on and so forth. So we try to, so in visual language, very specifically, there's the lighting part and there's the camera movement part. Both of these have to be right for the scene. It has to be lit for the for the composition. So we try to distill that theme into these very specific building blocks of image.
Shooting with children is notoriously a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
and we hear a lot about how directors form a relationship with them. I was wondering, as a cinematographer, if there's a different kind of dynamic that you have filming children.
Patience and perseverance, these two are the code words for working with children. And the nice thing is, like, for this specific film, me and the director, before we started filming, we spent quite a bit of time with the children, getting friendly with them and just getting to know each other, so that once you know the child, the director was very good with the children. Mitra Sen, she's like fabulous with children. She's a teacher also in Toronto, so she knows how to work with children. Like, she knew temperament of every child that was there in the film, and she would speak in that temperament. So that was very important for the film to, for the kids to respond in the way that she wants. There's one child who's mute in the film, but everybody in the festival has told me that that guy was magic. He conveyed everything through his eyes, and that's a challenge for any director to do, like to convey so much just with your eyes. So, and he's a 5-year-old child. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen people reacting to this universal theme throughout the different processes of screening? Has it been kind of a universal reaction that you've seen?
We have mostly found the same reaction to the film, that it's very relevant in today's world of conflict. There's conflict happening everywhere. So, because film has story and story cannot survive without specifics, the theme of the film is really very global, and it works for any country, it's not something that's based on. A story like this could happen anywhere in the world, but the theme is very global. So that's the thing that we have seen across audiences. Here, it was screened in San Francisco, in Illinois, and all those places, that people immediately understand what the theme is about and what the conversation is about. So we've had similar reactions.
But it's got to feel good on your part, as you really did actually convey that message throughout it.
Yeah, I have to convey this message to Mitra, because she's done a great job writing and directing this film. Yeah.
Well, Ashish, you're finishing your in school. You're almost one more month to finishing school in LA. I want to wish you the best.
Thank
You've
you.
done amazing work and beautiful work under the same sun. So I want to say thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Sedona, the people here are wonderful, beautiful people. I've said this before. Love, wisdom, and good humor is totally in the air in Sedona. So yeah.
Thank you. We don't have anything else to say. That's it right there. We'll be back.
Thank you.
Thanks.